What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a new review. In front of us is the new Mazda CX-60. It's a larger SUV finally, so Mazda has decided to step up and introduce a new model, and we're gonna check it out. This is the pre-production model, just have that in mind. This is supposed to be a plug-in hybrid. It's here presented in Sofia Auto Show in Bulgaria, so this is the pearl metallic white color. And I gotta say, I love this. It has this mean daytime running lights. Mazda's kind of copying BMW just slightly in some details. But I'm not sure if you're gonna agree or disagree with me. Type in the comments below. But I love it. It still has Mazda design. You can see the big grille air intake on the top, a little bit on the bottom below the license plates. And you can see the Mazda classical design. It's very polished, sorry for the flickering lights, but you know, it's that Takumi design, and we can see new LED daytime running lights across here. They turn into turn signals, and there's this one. There's a lens on the top and one at the bottom. There's a fog light integrated in the main light cluster. You also have a washer nozzle over here for the headlight. Parking sensors, of course, standard. There is a air intake through there, you can see that. And there is like a little lip in just plain plastic there. So this is kind of just black grille. Of course, you have the wide lens for the 360 parking system. You have it on the side mirrors and the back of the car, and the Mazda badge is the radar for emergency braking and cruise distance. Now, if we move to the side of the car, you can see it. The lights don't flicker as much on the rear end of the car, so we're gonna go there as well. I love the fact that you can see the daytime running light on the side and on the front there as well. It's quite nice. We're gonna check the spec later. Have beautiful black alloys. These are 235/50 R20, so 20-inch. These are Bridgestone tires. We have on the side plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. And over here we have a big heads-up display. Mazda is generous with the packages. This is usually almost standard. And you have the lane assist and a light and rain sensor on the top. You can see the speakers in the dash. And we have the heaters in the windshield for the wipers. It's a nice detail. Black contrasting side mirrors and this around the A-pillar. If I back up, and I can back up, so beautiful, gorgeous color. Now it's all colorized. At least this is, I believe, probably the top package. You can spec, so you can either get this in bare plastic, so it's a little bit better if you're going for light off-roading. You can see the white color. I know it's flickering, so let's go to the back. Tinted rear windows, and over here, yeah, the camera's kind of struggling there. Let me back up here so you can see the whole car. It looks amazing. Now on this end, I believe this is your petrol. It's locked. On the other side, it's your plug. Now, if I come a little bit down, you can see the quad exhaust tips that are unfortunately fake. Yes, so there is a real exhaust pipe on the left, but those are fake exhaust pipes. There's also a nice diffuser there. And I gotta say, I love the new signature. Kind of looks like the CX-5 facelift, but then it has this extension, and that kind of reminds me slightly of the BMW design language. But you know, that's the only thing I'm comparing, design language, nothing else. CX-60 all-wheel drive Sky Active plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. We have another camera on the rear, no washer, and we have white LED license plates. So if we press this open, I'm gonna open it. I gotta say that this like round back end kind of reminds me of the CX-30. Now if I back up, you can see the whole cargo area. Now this doesn't open too tall. I'm a 2 meter tall person, or 6.6, so you can see, watch out not to hit your head. You can see those on the top. You can close or actually lock or close. You can do it manually if in case electronics fail. And over here on the top, you can see you could remove these. You need to use 2 hands, but it's a shutter. It's transparent on this end, so it just rolls inside. Now over here we have a flat entry, so that's nice when you're loading luggage. There are tether points here on both ends. Now checking the right side, we have a oval outlet. You can knock down the seats, and there's a cool white light on the right. There is a tether point there on both ends. Checking the left side, you have the, check this out, AC outlet or European Schuko 225 volts or 1500 watts. So you can press there and charge on a Schuko. So that's cool. Now you have here 1 or 2. So the seats knock down either 60-40 or 40-40-20. You also have those tether points for the ISO fix for the child seats. And you can lift this up. Now if I lift it up all the way, you can see in there. Now we have a, you can do this actually this way. You have the patching kit, some sort of bag, and emergency triangle first aid. That's it. And this is, I believe, a Bose, either an amplifier or a subwoofer. Sometimes they put stuff on the driver's seat. And put this back, so let me just, not to forget. Okay, so there's a foam here. I really can't say there's like a lot of room. There is a few centimeters where you can put stuff. Let's close it up. Now you can see now when the car locks, actually didn't saw it, but there's like turn signals. There's a spoiler coming, extending through the body. This is just bare plastic. This will fade on the sun, so I'm not a huge fan of that. And over here you can see the Type 2 for AC charging. So this is for the plug-in hybrid part. You can also put it here on a hook. And you can see they've added a little fender flare extension there. Interesting alloys. And let's check the interior finally. So I think Mazda should work on the door handles. So the closing sound is good, but having in mind this is a not a final production car, I think there's some soundproof lacking inside, but we're gonna consider this is again a pre-production car. Good seals, and you can push a key here to lock inside for the kids. The doors go all the way down, so if you're washing the car, it's a good thing, so there won't be too much water residue there. Nice soft touch materials inside. We have this is plastic, but it's a nice pattern, and it's nice and silver. It looks like aluminum, but it's not, but still looks very posh. This is nice and soft. You can lock here. Nice big handles to open. Power windows. Nice design on the speaker there. Ball area. This is all covered by leather, but it's hard plastic. Now, looking inside, you can push down the bench here. Obviously, the seatbelt is doesn't have a liner. You can see the seats go down. It's almost flat. You can see the shelf on the top. Now there's a speaker in the seat pillar. You can see that as well. Now the seats lock down into upright position. Actually, there is a seatbelt aligner over there. Someone didn't put it there. So you can tilt the bench a little bit. And over here are the child anchor for the ISOFIX. So if you need to put a child seat inside, it's very practical and wide. And I don't see any air vents there, but let's check the seats. You have a nice leather and perforated in the middle. some copper or maybe or brown stitches. And let's sit inside. Now there's plenty of feet room, plenty of knee room. I'm a 2-meter tall person, or 6.6 in feet. It's a nice pocket here, so have in mind this seat is a little bit more back, but it's enough room. We have here airvents you can control, heated seats, 2 USB-Cs for fast charging, and another Schuko outlet that's practical if you have a laptop, if you're working on a trip. Transmission tunnel is wide, not too tall. This is nice and soft. The seats are nicely profiled, very comfortable. You can adjust the headrest, of course. Press here. You can put a net over here or over here. These are all 4 sides slowly closing. You have the hooks there, nothing on the B pillar, and you have fairly tall windows. There's another one in the C pillar, so it's a nice overview around. And as I mentioned, there's a speaker in the C pillar. On the top we have the LED lights, and let's hear the closing sound. So there's a slight rattle sound, but I think this is pre-production. That's the reason why, because in Mazda it always had a good closing sound. This is the look at the front, and nice details. A little different, but it's super wide. The car is wider and there is more space. And if we open this, you can see this. There's adjustable cup holders. If you share some light, you can see that this is rubberized, nice and soft. Leather's squeaking. And so let me just turn 2-meter tall person with 6.6, and hey, I can straighten up my back and my head, and my hair is touching, but there's plenty of headspace for a 2-meter tall person, so that's great. Because Mazda cars had a sloping roof, so CX-60 is approved for tall people. You can adjust the seat belt for the front, of course. And let's get on the front where you're going to spend most of your time. Now you can see also here Roman 5 means this is a factory tint, of course. And let's check the front. So in front mirrors you have a blind spot warning and a physical blind spot in the mirror itself. There is a, you can see, physical cylinder in there. You need to unlock in case your fully battery goes off. Again, closing sound is good. I think they should work on the handles a bit, maybe put some rubber there, and this is all good. Seals going around, and this is also soft touch material, same design as on the rear, so you can lock or unlock the car, and you can lock the rear. All power windows electronic and fully automatic. You can fold the mirrors and you can adjust them electronically. This is nice and robust. This part is soft, this is soft, and then hard plastics on the bottom. You have decent bottle area. Here, here's the speaker there. I'm gonna put the lights to automatic, so it's gonna stop beeping. You can see the tire pressure here, more load, more cargo. You need to have a higher tire pressure for safety reasons. And checking the seats, electronic. This is for the knee area, seat up and down, and back and forward. Tilt of that, and lumbar. Really important. Now you can see the seat belt there. Leather is okay. We have some perforated in the middle. So these are, I think, heated seats as well. Maybe it'd be cool if they had a cooling option as well. The bolsters aren't too big, but the seats look comfy. You can see the view at the top. And over here you can pop the phone. We're gonna do that at the end of the video. You can see automatic pedals. You can open or close from the driver position. There's 2 memory positions you can set. And there's safeties on or off, parking sensors on or off, traction control on or off, and you can open the fuel. I heard the unlock button, so you can see that. And there you can unscrew that, put it here. There's a second one, but I think there should be like an AdBlue option if you go for the diesel. This is a petrol, obviously. And those are some of the details. And of course, over here you can see automatic beam, and you can adjust the steering column electronically, all directions. Let's get inside. Now switching to wide lens, and voila, this is the point of view. It looks awesome, and you can see the screen. Okay, but it went off. We don't have the key, unfortunately, but I love the dash. This is same Mazda. We have now a huge digital cockpit and a longer screen on the top. Following this is like a Mazda 3 design or the CX-30, but a little bit change. Have the air vents on the bottom and interesting AC controls and big automatic. Let's zoom back in. And let's check the steering wheel. We have a very smooth leather. It's a 3-spoke, classical Mazda, but this is the new steering wheel, so it has this nice thin buttons. This is not chrome, so it's piano black in this one. Have the volume, you can press to mute, source, change voice commands, drop calls, and answer calls. Information for the digital cockpit, distance limiter, or the speed limiter, set for the cruise, lane assist, and cruise control on or off. You have the sport paddles to there, and you have the lights to keep them on automatic. You have the fog lights, turn signals, and classical wiper controls and washer nozzles. We have really interesting air vents, so Mazda kind of got bolder with the design. I love the details. I love the mirrors. I like the fact that there are, you can see this area, but they are a little bit backwards. I would like them to be a little bit forward. That's my maybe con for the Mazda. I've maybe forgot to show you, but there's a Bose speaker in the doors on the A-pillar. Good closing sound. You can see the air vent going there. This is soft plastic. It's a heads-up display. Speaker design is okay and feels solid. There's a, I don't think this is a button. I think this is for the eyes, for the driver monitor system. There's another sensor there. So, but we have, you can see that a nice big screen. It's wider. We have the hazards, and you can see the start-stop button. It's located on the top. You can see now when the screen went on, you can see how long it is, but unfortunately it will not turn on. You can see here would be the brightness for the virtual cockpit and the trip meter there. This is a nice big cockpit. Once again, if I open it up, you can see that it looks amazing, and I can't wait to see one actually working. But again, pre-production car. And just following the rest of the dash, soft, and at the bottom it's hard plastics in Mazda, unfortunately. Let's check the glove compartment. Slowly opening, has a nice flint, feels premium, and it's very, very generous in space. And over here on the bottom you can see air vents and automatic AC controls for the passenger and the driver. You can turn on the automatic here. You can sync, so it's a dual zone at least. And you have here the heated seat, heated steering wheel, heated seats, cooled seats. It's a nice option. You can defrost the front and the rear, and here you can turn it on or off. You have the speed control for the fan, and you have the air direction, and you can close or open the air direction. And now over here you have a wireless charging pad. There's a 12-volt outlet, and then nice details. Look at this. There's almost no piano black. I don't see any piano black. That's a good thing for Mazda. You can see here me drive, so I believe this is a switch for hybrid or maybe fully electric. There's a symbol here for the battery. You can save what it's for. You can see the automatic. There's a little button. Press it there. There's a downhill assist and a camera option. And over here, this is a nice design. And there's adjustable cup holders. They're rubberized, so it's a nice detail. Don't put your coins here. If they go inside there, it'd be really hard to take them out. And then this will be jammed. So saw this like in the US version of the Volkswagen Passat. Electronic parking hold, auto hold, and this is the classical Mazda. You push it to the side, up, back and forward, press it. There's navigation, music, home, and back button. Volume, press to turn on or off the infotainment. You have favorites, and you can push it to the side. Let's see if this would turn on, maybe. It's asking for a key, so you can see that. And if you hold the button for the infotainment, I'm afraid nothing's happening. Let's wrap it up. So you can see nice wide armrests. It's like one hand can fit here, so they're like both passengers, so they're not elbowing each other. There's a button. I'm going to show you here. If you press it here, then you have two of these. There's another two USB-Cs that illuminate. There's a nice carpet here, and this is how it looks underneath. I think they need to maybe wrap this up, make it stable. There's just like this rubberized part, so if you press it, you won't squash the cables. You can see actually through. And that's it. There's some buzzing sounds inside, and the seats are quite comfortable. And someone's trying to turn on the headlights, take some photos. And to wrap it up, checking the front headspace, loads of headspace for a 2-meter tall person. And let's wrap it up on the top. You can once again see the okay. Good overview through the sides. There's big tall windows you can see for the rear, and over here on the top you can see a hood. At least if you're a taller person, you have those blind spots on both ends. Actually, on the driver end to the left, you have a blind spot in the mirror, and on the side you have those blind spot warnings. You can see the LED lights, and there's airbag information, passenger seatbelt information on the top. There's a nice cloth inside. You can put your sunglasses or reading glasses or when you're driving. Emergency call there, and this is nicely padded, and it's a kind of big. And over here you have the privacy mirror, white LED light consistent with the interior, and there's a document holder there. Let's see if this will extend. This area is not covered, and unfortunately it doesn't. Maybe something to consider in the future. And again, I wish I could turn this on. It looks so good. Okay, and I think we're gonna pop the bonnet just to show you the plug-in hybrid. I think it's once, but just to make sure I don't come back. And let's see the plug-in hybrid, and then we're gonna check up the spec there. So above the badge, like more to the right edge of the badge, on top of it there's this mechanism. So if I back up a little bit, you can see the whole bonnet, and this is the plug-in hybrid setup. So you can see the eSky Active plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So just let it drop, closes perfectly. But now someone from Mazda came with a key, so they're offering us to turn on the infotainment, and I'm definitely gonna say yes to that. We're gonna check that. So we're in Bulgaria once again, so there's a lot of cellular here. I'm gonna put the technical specs inside, but you can see 327 horsepower, all-wheel drive, 8-speed automatic. That's something I can say for sure. This is in Bulgarian currency.
Are you waiting, buddy?
Yes.
Okay.
So
how long? 10 minutes?
A few minutes, thanks. So over here we can see now, wow, the new infotainment. It's just lower the fan speed. So you can see also the Mazda key fob. It's same as the rest of the Mazda generation. And so, wow, this is gorgeous. If I come a little bit closer, you can see the sharpness of the graphics. And we're gonna check the info buttons. So we can see here coolant. So that's cool. You can see the safeties here. You turn them off. You can see the hold for info. You can see the consumption. You can see the power. You can see the parking sensors reacting to people going around, and that's impressive. Now, let's see here. Yeah, there's no buttons here, but really, really cool looking. I wish we could play maybe with you can turn on or off the limiter, so you can have a classical dials there. You can see that by pressing this guy, or you can have the distance, so you can control that with this, or just press the limiter. You can see either a classical or a side. So you can see the charge and power, and then you can see status of your fuel and status of the battery range. Now, just to take a glance of the infotainment, it's classical infotainment we saw, but just to, let me see the sound, there's just some static noise. Over here, if we use, now this is not a touchscreen in this case, just like the new CX-5. So information, just a quick look, drive efficiency monitor. This is a classical Mazda, but just to go through these, you can see it, fuel consumption, energy flow monitor. In this one, you can see when it's charging or discharging or recuperating. And then you can reset that and reset to factory. So I'm just gonna swipe through these back to the menu, home menu. So high voltage battery monitor. You can see here status of charge. You can see the range, EV range. You can schedule charging and so on. Just to go back to the information, vehicle status monitor. So doors, next service, and so on. Let's go fast through this. You can check it all. Entertainment is classical. You have radio options here, so now I'm gonna go through those. Let's see if there's anything different. Communication, it's all classical. Bluetooth connection, navigation. The system is not. Okay, we're missing the SD card here, and here are the settings. So EV settings, that's interesting. You can see the EV settings are here. Let's just see charging schedule, climate control. Turn on the climate to cool the car. Charging limit for AC, 100%. You can play with that. You can put it to like 90 or less. Lock or unlock the charging connector. You can see this is the, I think this is the US style or Japanese style. Regenerative braking, you can control here the high or normal. It's interesting. EV priority mode and driving chart, it says here. Okay, just time. And in vehicle display, of course, you can control the heads up there. So let me just, you can see that it's a classical Mazda heads up display. And you can see here center display. Of course, you can play with these, display off, day night, automatic. This is all like classical. You can get that in the classical Mazda. Instrument cluster, increase text. So you can have it like smaller or bigger, and you can have this always on or off. And those are the only two display options apparently. Sound settings, so just a quick overview. Audio settings, bass, treble, middle. This is classical. Moderate. Okay, system volume. So this is becoming a full in-depth review and exclusive. Safety settings, of course, you can here have all these warnings. This is exactly the same as on the other models. Vehicle settings, just a quick, so yeah, you can play with all of these. And connectivity settings, Bluetooth, wireless. Okay, Bluetooth and wireless settings. You can have wireless charging, prioritize AM reception, whatever that means. Not sure if anyone's using that. Driver personalization system. You can have profiles, guests, and yeah, it's cool. Wrap it up. System settings, clock, voice, language, and software updates. Let's see if they're over the air. I'm not going to check for the updates, but I think they've recently added those. That's going to wrap for the infotainment. You can go to the side. I think there's no notifications. And there was a option to hold, actually not that. There was an option to hold and get the clock on the face. You can hold this to turn it on or off. But that was it. And cutting this in, not to forget the driving modes. Look at this, you have a sport. Ooh, that's fancy. Goes red. And then if we go to the normal, we have the EV. Ooh, And then we have the off-road. So this is pretty cool. Changes the colors of the infotainment here. Let's see the EV. And if we check that is dope. If we go to the off-road, just to check the both screens, you see that and that. If we go to the, I think we saw the normal, but just to show you that, and the sport. So that's pretty cool. So huge thanks to Mazda for letting us show this. So ladies and G's, that was the whole full review, exclusive. So if you want to see more, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, click the little bell to get notified, and click on all notifications, otherwise you won't get them. And if you want to see more from Sofia Auto Show, there's plenty of cars. Definitely subscribe. It's going to be Toyota as well. So stay safe. See you in the next one. Bye.